You hear a lot of big claims out there, but what about this one? NATO has been called the strongest alliance in history. Now that's not just some random opinion, that's a direct quote from its own leadership. So what's really behind such a powerful statement? Let's break it down.
So where does this idea even come from? Well, it all kicks off with a single, incredibly bold statement from the very top of NATO. And believe me, it sets a pretty high bar. And there it is, a direct quote from the Secretary General. But pay close attention to the wording here. It's not just strong today, it's the strongest in history. I mean, we're talking about all of recorded history here. That's the kind of claim that definitely needs some backup, right?
So that's the big question, isn't it? How do you even begin to measure something like that? What are the actual, concrete facts we can look at to see if this holds up? Let's dive into the first piece of evidence.
Okay, so the first piece of the puzzle here is a really simple but incredibly powerful number, and it tells you a lot about the sheer scale of this alliance. And that number? It's over 30. 30-plus member nations, all in this alliance together, and every single one of them is committed to collective defense. You know, that one number is really the bedrock of NATO's power.
So let's really think about what that means. We're not just talking about a number. We're talking about a huge network of military might, economic power, and political influence, all tied together by one mutual defense pact. It's that sheer breadth of membership that makes it this massive multinational force, pretty different from a lot of alliances throughout history, which were usually just centered around a couple of big, dominant powers.
All right, so let's put these two pieces together. You have this really bold declaration on one hand, and then you have the hard data on the other. And when you combine them, you start to get a pretty clear picture of the alliance today.
And this is really the heart of it, right? You've got this ambitious claim being the strongest in history, and it's backed up by the simple reality of its massive scale. These two things, they're meant to work together. They reinforce each other to build this really powerful narrative about where the alliance stands.
So what's the big takeaway here? Well, the story of NATO's strength, at least as it's presented here, isn't just about the powerful quote. And it's not just about the impressive number of members either. It's really about how those two things combine to create this incredibly formidable picture of what a modern military alliance looks like. So the strongest alliance in history for today. But if there's one thing we know from history, it's that alliances are always tested. They have to evolve, they grow, they face new challenges that nobody saw coming. Which leaves us with the real question, doesn't it? What does that strength look like tomorrow? And what new challenges will it face?